In complex numbers, there's a special kind of product called the complex conjugate. It is defined as so. If a plus bi is a complex number, then its conjugate is defined as a minus bi. It's essentially just taking the exact same number, but changing the sign in the middle. By extension, if you have a complex number in the form of a minus bi, then its conjugate is a plus bi. Again, we just take the sign and change it in the middle, and only the middle. The reason it's important is what happens when you multiply the complex conjugates together. So if you have two complex conjugates that are multiplying together, if you were to FOIL distribute this out, you would just get a squared plus b squared. So all you really have to do is just take a times a, and then bi times negative bi, and you don't have to worry about the middle parts of FOIL, the inner and the outer. Those will cancel out. You only have to do the first and the last. So we're going to find the complex conjugate of each expression, and then we're going to multiply them together. So the first one we have is 3 plus 5i. So its complex conjugate is 3 minus 5i. Now we're going to multiply them together. So 3 plus 5i, 3 minus 5i. So remember, all we got to do is multiply the first two numbers together, which is going to give us 9. Then multiply the last two terms together, which is going to give us negative 25i squared. And if you've forgotten or just need a reminder, remember that I squared equals negative 1. This is a fact that will be used often in complex numbers. So I got I squared, which means I can just change that to negative 1. And now I can simplify down. 9 and then 25, negative 25 and negative 1 is going to give me positive 25. And then I just combine these together and I'm going to get 34. And that's my answer for this one. Next I have 2 minus 7i. So I need to find the complex conjugate, which is again just take the sign in the middle and change it. So 2 plus 7i. Now I'm going to multiply them together. So 2 minus 7i and 2 plus 7i. So again, multiply the first two and get 4. Multiply the last two, get negative 49i squared, which is going to be 4 minus 49 times negative 1. 4 plus 49, which is going to be 53. Last, negative 1 minus 4i. So what's the complex conjugate? Again, we just take the middle sign and change it. So it's still negative 1, but we only change the middle sign, so positive 4i. And now we're going to multiply them together. So negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1, minus negative 4 and positive 4 is 16, and I times I is I squared. And I change my I squared because I don't want that. Make it a negative 1. 1 plus 16, which is just going to give me 17. So remember, when you multiply by a complex conjugate, you should never get an I left over. It should just be a nice number.